All right. So in the last lecture, we have uh, we have proposed about the eternal nature of consciousness, which means that consciousness is something, or consciousness is such kind of uh, objects or entity we may call for the time being. We'll later on, be precise about what exactly the consciousness is, whether it's an object or it's an entity or it's a substance or it's a concept and what exactly it is. But for the time being, we will discuss that later. But for today, or in the last discussions, what we have mentioned was the eternal nature of consciousness. So we were arguing that there has to be something eternal in order to answer the questions of origin, right? So the question of origin does not really terminate at the place of neuroscience, or at the place of just looking at the brain. Rather, the question of origin would require, or let's say the question of origin enforces us to think about the existence or the presence of something which is eternal. So meaning to say that the moment I start to look for the consciousness in brain, the question comes is what makes the brain to kind of triggers such kind of consciousness, or let's say such uh, such kind of phenomena, the conscious phenomena to arise within the brain. So which means that there must be something which must have triggered that, right? So even if you take the root of the cause and effect, so for every effect there has to be cause. Okay, so there cannot be effect without cause. Or let's say, even if you argue in this front that okay, there must be an there must be an original cause, or let's say kind of it cannot, it's not very easy to argue that what not very easy to argue that there must be something which as a starting point it just has appeared from nothing kind of things. So this is a difficult, so therefore it basically it hints that there exists a something object which is eternal. And that is what we get confirmation, or let's say that is what has been revealed in the Vedic scripture, right? That is what has been revealed in the Vedic scripture, which says that there is some object, or there is some entity which has been there since time immemorial, and which is existing now and which will remain to continue to exist, right? So this is what is the information we get. So which means that there is some object which is eternally existing. So that is what is our point that we wanted to present here, or we want to make here, that the consciousness is something which is eternal. Now if we really have to take the other argument where saying that everything is a material, so then we have to prove that is there any characteristic, or is there any property which is being kind of which is visible, or let's say which justifies that matter can exist for the time, for eternity, right? One point which we know from the modern science is the energy, which has been said is the energy neither be created nor be destroyed. But this may be very vague kind of things, right? So when you say that energy neither be created nor be destroyed, it can only change from one form to another form. Then we must say, from how does the energy existed in the beginning of the creation, for that matter, when that universe has started, right? Whether it has started from the from the state of energy, or is there anything beyond, or beyond let's say energy, or how the energy has come into being, right? So that's the point of core of the argument. That is what we say, that now if we have to say that if you really wanted to explain everything in terms of the matter or the principles of the material nature, or for the which we call it is a hardcore reductionist approach, or let's say extreme materialistic approach, so then we must argue, or we must establish this fact that the matter in any form, or let's say in any other form, has got this property of eternity, right? So this is what is the kind of argument. Will kind of stop here to say that that route, right? If you really wanted to follow that route of argument, that everything can be explained in terms of the matter, then this point have to be proven. And later on, we'll see in the discussion somewhere, hmm, somewhere in the book, or something called the what is life. I think that's the book by Schrodinger, right, where he argue from the perspective of entropy, right, from the perspective of entropy, and he tries to distinguish this specific nature of matter. Wherever there is a matter, there is an entropy. So on the contrary to that, uh, there is some second element, or there is some second element than the matter, which try to bring harmony, out of though that sort of entropy, right? So that is what is the argument, the next argument, which really intimate to us that there is something which goes beyond the matter. So that's what is the our main point of the focus. So therefore we'll be taking that route of that. We'll be looking for the subject matter, or let's say we'll be looking for the subject which is kind of something which is beyond matter, and that is what we are calling it as a consciousness, right? So we'll be discussing further with more specific characteristic, or let's say we'll be trying to formulate the problems which can really be, which will form the basis of something which we call it as a new kind of science, right? So that is our interest. Yeah, thank you very much.